you'll be a dear and help me forward? Please,
Looks like she could use our help.
don't get too comfortable. More are on the way.
Good one!
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? To climb, of course.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
There's a godless artifact just out of reach, and I must have it. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Do they really? Well, I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the three of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an animancy thing, isn't it?
In any event, I already have a lover. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord, and I need this vase now. That doesn't excuse your lack of a ladder, dearie. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. No one listens to me.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you?
Right behind you.
Yeah.
Come and get me. Take your best shot. About that one. Not bad, Marius.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless face. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
I think I sprained my shoulder.
Ready, aim. Granted, I don't come here often, but when did it get this bad? As if people weren't hungry enough. Those are no ordinary farmhands.
A godlike in Emerald's Den. Well, well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? Other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. They get 3 meals a day and a comfortable home. What more could they ask for?
I've certainly dealt with worse.
Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy. unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural. We're animancers. Hooking up equipment and seeing what happens is what we do. You see, the living lands is rich with essence, the energy of souls. We channel this energy into our fields, and that's why Emerald's there is the breadbasket of the living lands.
There's something poetic about the idea of plants eating souls to survive. Creepy, but poetic.
But as you can see, we've been dealing with some irregularities. Giata thinks so, and I trust Giata. Traditional farms depend on water, sunlight, and the mercy of insects. What you see here is no different. Animancy can change the world, but it's an uphill climb. People don't trust what they don't understand.
Hand in hand, they toil, and the earth gives in return. The smile of the harvest.
In the past week. How am I supposed to live like this? Ah, Ado. You've caught me at an unfortunate time. You wouldn't happen to be an animancer. Gods, it's about time somebody like you came along. If I have to chase down one more revenant, I'll lose my mind. I don't know. They just disappear. I wish they would at least come back. Soon I won't have any left. It's not like I enjoy imposing on you, but I'm afraid if I look for them, the rest will wander off. If Elia finds out, I'll never hear the end of it. I have to have some standards, even at a time like this. You know, maybe there is something. Maybe I know where they went. I've caught them trying to shamble off to the nearby lake before. Revenants aren't very bright. That can't be a coincidence. They must be attracted to something. It could even have power over them. It could be anything in a place like this. A relic? A grimoire? Luminous Adra? No, that wouldn't make sense. I was hoping you'd say that. Just follow the trail of revenants. Oh, and if you find something, I'd be grateful if you brought it here. I want to see whether it leads the surviving revenants back. The only way to find out is to experiment.
This place could use a broom or two. Maybe a team of carpenters.
A new face! Welcome, welcome! There may not be much left, but feel free to take a look.
First, my wife runs off to paradise, and now this. Not one for talking right now. On top of everything else going on, now I can't get this blasted equipment to work. Oh, sure, thanks. I hope you can find something I didn't. Arms up! Show me what you got!
We make a good squad.
Hello, my friend. Still having trouble with this old equipment. Oh, what happened? I can't believe I missed something that obvious. Gods, I must be duller than a wooden sickle. Thank you, my friend. I can fix it from here.
One for you!
Unseek!
On my last leg. Everybody all right? Oh, no. No! Next one's mine.
Seek!
Seek! Ready for more.
Oh, finally a rescuer. I was beginning to lose my voice. I'm not dead yet. Just too tired to climb up. Oh, 1 minute. I'm engrossed in my research. The next thing I know, whoo, my workshop is in this damn pit. Not until lately. Now they're everywhere. The ruins were probably stable until those roots showed up. Quilici warned Vidaro that the roots would swallow the soil. As usual, nobody listened to him. So, here we are. We've never had plants like these. I'm no botanist, but even I can tell that something's not right. I'm not going anywhere yet. You, on the other hand, you might be able to help me. My notes are down here somewhere. They contain priceless data on the wildlife around Fjord. Then I was fortunate. Those dollars in the workshop have it in for me. As soon as I dug them out, a gang of sporlings ran off with them. I can heave myself topside in time, but I'm in no shape to fight. If it makes you feel better, fine. They ran into the ruins. Now hurry. I can't have a sporling eating my life's work. For all I know, they could be halfway to Nakutadek by now. alive? I mean, you're back. Ah! Did you find my notes? Ah, yes. The cover's a little worse for wear, but the notes are intact. My findings on squirrel essence are going to change everything. Everything! As everyone knows, squirrel brains grow and shrink in accordance with the nut season. So I thought, what if a squirrel's soul shrinks too? Huh? I propose that the size of our soul corresponds to our brain mass. If it weren't for this sinkhole, I would have already submitted it. I can't imagine any of my specimens are still intact, and I'll have to find somewhere to sleep. But I've got my notes. I can try again. Take this. Buy yourself something nice. It's the least I can do.
What just happened? I heard something about a squirrel.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fjord obviously comes from using animacy.
We don't use animals. Our forces are trying to kill us.
I don't know what you want from me. The other animals are just doing the best we can to survive.
Fjord will be better able to survive if they accept help from the adherents.
The adherents have already made great strides in bringing order to Paradise.
I just want to go home.
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giata's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giata's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
The Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. As am I, in a way. Forgive me. I'm Captain Alfia, captain in the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adheran interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the Living Lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Officially, I am one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora. If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happens to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study. Aurat Augori. I hope to see you soon. Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Saimiko. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon. Oh, the Trentons. A bunch of butzels, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there. Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. Ah, those Delamgan. They're not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and... No, that's me.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Flora.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. Oh, sure. I can't take the blame for all of Fyor's problems, but my negligence has only made things worse. The dead of Fyor expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. That's exactly it! Well done! I have always observed it, and I brought it with me when I came to Fyor. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
The ritual heals all. The spirits get one more taste of life, and the living get to offer one last gift to the dead. I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. I believe it will change everything for the better. I believe it with all my heart. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days, they sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fjord, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. That is the least of my worries. But yes, bringing closure to the recent dead will finally allow me a good night's sleep. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising, though.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Be patient. He hasn't steered us wrong before.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh, my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. You must be unfamiliar with animancy. There's always collateral damage. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge.
I had one job, but I couldn't even do that. Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. You don't have many friends, do you? Ah, gods. Guess I don't have much in the way of manners either. I'm Fidelio, Lieutenant Fidelio Sarat. I lead one of our ranger outfits. At least, for now, it is. Are you kidding? They need us now more than ever. It's why we're stretched so thin. We were helping with the recovery effort until we hit a snag.
Relax. O Felipe survived his plunge. Tenacity of a scramble route, that one.
As if that weren't bad enough, I'm losing track of these searchers, too. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Brasilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to, I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and Malena's father and I were comrades in arms years ago. When she enlisted, I swore I'd try to keep her safe. That was all. I couldn't even do that. What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Pour you a drink, godlike? Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The Animancers never know when to shut their mouths. Sounds like you've traveled a fair bit. Although even by Fjord standards, tensions are at a breaking point. Except Giata and Quilici, that is. They are the only Animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the Animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. Birth's bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? Welcome back, envoy.
Ado, welcome to my Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late.
did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise. They should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare a squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
We'll get thrown out of the...
Got
I'd like Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Found the machine.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So, you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
Ah, Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now. I'm not concerned with that. Not now. Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much Adra to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck? With no consequences, our ambitions will run unchecked. It's too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Athelmia's treatise on Vodka. Perhaps she's right. Maybe Animancy should be reined in. How can I? All right. I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I won't publish anything until I'm absolutely sure.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amigo.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. It's more that I don't think my belief's worth standing up for. Life's simpler that way. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Not before I've done some reading.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. No doubt. That's why I admire the resolve. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
Kai hinting? Believe me, that Nim dude isn't subtle.
He's right. I'd rather drink salt water than have a hard conversation. That's what I admire about Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Can we just talk about something else?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side. By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another. And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests? They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure. Stay sharp. A storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us. Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you. I've noticed. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest.
You might want to consider not washing your clothes in safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
No, it's fine. If you feel the need to wash your clothes, go right ahead. Hey, just use something else.
Sweat and midday breezes don't count as washing, you know.
Right, so I smell like the wilderness. You people stand out like a tree rat in heat. You've been complaining about the flies, though.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. Pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her. We reach. The spines tear into us. We pull our hands away. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We know. A storm from the same spark. All pain cuts with the same blade. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. No recourse but teeth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen. Have care. Have care.
Yeah.
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us. Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then. She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Unseen, unheard.
Another win, but who's counting?
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. Well, he was my first successful raising. Flawed and messy, but mine. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata? No, thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end? Only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed first? Gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
I hate speculation. I want answers.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giata will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Into exile.
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if
dozed
she
off
needs a
there
new
for a
research
bit.
partner.
Were any of those
Or maybe
words the
a
ones we
test
needed?
subject?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel.
Hail, godlike. Come, indulge me. For you, a trial. My champion, and claim your reward. Before you.
That it? Take him down. This one's mine. Behind you! Look right!
Did you hear that Giata was sent into exile?
Wondered if she needs a new research partner.
Or maybe a test subject?
Both. Anything. The great Giata Castel.
Hail, godlike. Come, indulge me. For you, a trial. And claim your reward, or fall like those before you.
Get it! Mine now!
Well done. The prize is yours, and our business concluded. Farewell.
Just like the good old days.
Yeah.
Next one's mine. This one's mine. On your left.
Seems like a waste to me, but it means something to them.
Seek!
Something's not right here.
You feeling okay? Seems like you were having a strange dream the other night. A cup of tea might help you sleep. Unless you need a nip of something stronger.
I don't know what this thing is, but it's giving off. That's 3. It's definitely getting fired up now.
Look, Marius. If you ever want to talk about anything, you know I'm here, right?
Right. Appreciate that, but I'm all right.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. The bars stifle us. We cannot recall when last we spoke. Hollow faces in a line. What has come of this place? A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel? We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? Eons have passed. We do not recognize these strange machines. The harvest grows, the dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Do they not trust us to tend? They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? The hound cannot recognize itself. It growls at its own reflection. Should we fear it too? The fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings.